Today I'm going to be showing you step by step how to get this elegant, minimal Christmas makeup. Hello friends, welcome back. If you are new, my name is Julie and I help you find the best affordable beauty, makeup, and fashion items on a budget. And I teach you how to use them to always look elevated, polished, and put together. First, I am using the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I don't always use a primer, but I've really been enjoying this one lately. It's very hydrating and I do feel like it helps my foundations to last longer. The foundation that I have been loving is this Believe Beauty Skin-Like Foundation. You can find Believe Beauty at Dollar General. I just do 2 pumps of this on the back of my hand. And I feel like Dollar General is very accessible. They're usually all over the place, especially if you live in a more rural area that doesn't have like a lot of stores around. So that's another reason why I really like this foundation, is because it is so accessible to a lot of people. After I blend the foundation on the back of my hand here, just kind of spread it out to give myself an even working space, I'll just dab my dampened Wet n Wild makeup sponge. And I'm just going to slowly start dabbing this foundation on the skin. You always want to use dabbing motions when using a dampened makeup sponge like this and not swiping, because that is going to leave like a lot of strokes on your face. And it's also going to give you the best coverage if you use bouncing motions to blend the foundation on your skin. I'll have all of the products that I'm using today listed down in the description box. So list like the shades I'm using if you're curious about any of that. So definitely go and check that out. And then I just take a little bit of foundation on my forehead. I don't like to apply too much there because it can look kind of heavy if you put too much foundation on your forehead. I really like this sponge because of this flat side here. This is a great dupe to the Beauty Blender makeup sponge, and I actually prefer this one over the Beauty Blender because I like this flat edge. For concealer, I'm using this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser. I have been testing out all of the Maybelline concealers right now. I'm going to be doing a video reviewing all Maybelline concealers, but you just twist this until the product clicks and comes out of the little sponge here. But this concealer, I forgot how good this is. I'm just going to dot it here on my under eyes. And then I'm going to go in with my makeup sponge to blend this out. I'm also going to take a little bit up here on my eyelids. I've been enjoying this concealer because it is very lightweight, has good coverage, and it looks hydrating on the under eyes. It doesn't accentuate fine lines. I do like to set my under eyes with a light setting powder. And this e.l.f. HD High Definition Setting Powder works great for that. It's very lightweight, and you need just the littlest amount of it. So I'll just get a little bit of that powder here on the lid, tap my brush in there, knock off the excess, and then I'll just lightly stamp that on the under eyes just to set that concealer lightly. I've just been using the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable, so I'll get a little bit of that on a triangle makeup sponge and just lightly dab that over the foundation. It's like, once again, you don't want to like swipe it around. You just want to dab. This way it doesn't disturb the foundation, but just sets it slightly. To keep my lips moisturized until I go in with a red lip, I like to put on a lip conditioner, and I've been loving this chapstick. This is just their peppermint chapstick, and I like how it has a nice minty tingle. For the eyebrows, I'm just going to do a very simple and natural look. So I use the e.l.f. Clear Brow and Lash Mascara, and I'll just brush my eyebrows up with this product. This just gives your brows a nice minimal clean look. And this e.l.f. brow gel is super affordable. It's only $3, and you can find it at like Walmart or Target, Ulta, or e.l.f.eyeslipsface.com. And I just use my finger to kind of press the brow hairs down. And if you wanted a really natural brow look, you could just leave them like that. But if your brows are a little bit more sparse and you need to fill them in, what I do is I'll just wait until this brow gel dries down, and then I go in with like a micro brow pencil or a brow powder and fill in any gaps and kind of shape out my brow a little bit more. So just depending on what you like. If you like a really natural brow, you could totally skip that step. I am going to do that today, but I'm going to wait, like I said, for the brow gel to dry down. For this look, I don't do much eyeshadow at all, but I do like to prime my eyelids a little bit before I do the little bit of eyeshadow that I'm going to do, just because it's going to keep things from creasing, and I find it also helps my mascara from transferring up onto my eyelids. I'm just using this e.l.f. hard candy, or e.l.f., I just called this e.l.f., the hard candy eyeshadow primer. And you can get this from Walmart. With that primer, you're gonna want that to dry down for 30 seconds to a minute. So now that my brows have dried, I'm gonna go back and fill in the sparse gaps with this NYX Micro Brow Pencil. So I usually just fill in the bottom portion of my brow because that's just where it's a little sparse, or like where I want it to have a little bit more definition and look a little bit more clean. Just kind of fill in the front parts of the brow. But I really like the NYX Micro Brow. It's a great dupe to the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and NYX has so many different shade options in their micro brow pencils. For bronzer, I'm just going to be using the e.l.f. contour palette, and I love this little palette for bronzing. You could use it for contouring, but I don't really contour that much these days, and I also really enjoy the highlight in this palette. I did pop out the other highlight and I put in one of their blushes in this palette just so I could have an all-in-one palette. So I really like it. But I'm just going to go in with this shade right here and this Morphe R10. And I'm just going to blend this bronzer lightly on the cheekbones. I mean, you could use obviously whatever bronzer you would like to use with this look. And if you wanted to, you could just skip bronzer altogether and just do your blush. But I just like to use a little bit of bronzer just to bronze and warm up my face a little bit. This little palette here is only $9. It's one of my favorite little palettes from the drugstore. And then I'm just going in with my Real Techniques powder brush and taking a little bit of this up along the hairline just to warm the face up here. And also, if you put a little bit of like bronzer up on your forehead, it helps to like make your forehead not look as big. Not that I have like a large forehead. I just like the way that it looks when I use bronzer because it warms up my face. And for blush, I'm going to use this Essence Pure Nude blush in Rosy Rosewood. And I find that this blush looks really beautiful with a red lip. So I'm just using this angled blush brush from Sigma. And I'll just take the blush and just kind of dab it and pull it kind of upward. I find that that kind of lifts my face a little bit. With this blush, it does have a natural sheen to it, so you could totally skip highlights, but I really like the highlight in this e.l.f. contour palette. It's such a beautiful natural highlight. Apply a little bit of that highlight right here on the highest part of my cheekbone. I feel like it gives you a very nice, like, glowy makeup look, just adding that highlight right here, and it's not too intense. Then for the eyes, all I do is I'll just take my setting powder and just a big fluffy brush. This is the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, and I'll just brush that powder lightly on just like my eyelid and also into the crease, just to set that primer and to just smooth out my eye area. Depending on how much makeup look I want to do, sometimes I'll do this step, sometimes I won't. I want to make this look more glowy and dewy. I will take a little bit of the highlight and on just like a small angled brush, I'll just lightly brush that right under the brow bone. I also found that this helps to kind of lift and open my eyes a little more. I'll take a little bit of that and also pop it right here in the inner corner of the eye. For the red lip, this is what makes this look so beautiful and elegant. This is also just like a great makeup look to wear year round if you just want a nice classic look. I have a couple of red lipstick options. This first one is the Maybelline Vinyl Ink. This is in the shade Wicked. It is like a blue toned kind of pinkish red. I really enjoy this color. It's really pretty, flattering on a lot of different skin tones. Maybelline also makes one that's more like an orange red, like a fire engine red. And that one is called Red Hot. They last on the lips a long time and these are shiny. So if you're not into a matte red lip and you like a shiny red lip, these are really good and they are very long wearing for a glossy lip. For the matte red lip, I like to use the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. This one is in the shade Pioneer and it is a very bright red. I'm debating on which one to use today, but I think I'm going to use the matte one because I filmed a tutorial last week, another Christmas tutorial using this red lip. So if you'd like to see what that looks like, go check out that other tutorial. I'll have it linked above and down in the description box. I'm just going to go ahead and apply this shade in Pioneer. Then if I have any areas of the lipstick that I want to clean up and make it look really sharp, like the lines of the lips, I'll take a little bit of my foundation and I just put it on the back of my hand. I'll take a concealer brush, dip it in the foundation there, and then I'll just go around the lip and just lightly kind of dab and blend that out to sharpen up the edge of the lips. I love this lip. It's such a classic red and it dries down to a matte finish. This stuff will last for hours and hours and hours. When it does wear off, it wears off mostly on the inside of your lips. So you might have to go in and reapply it. Though with these matte inks, you can't really go in and apply a lot of layers of them or it gets heavy and kind of icky on your lips. But if you just do like a thin layer of it, you're good to go. And this will last, like I said, for hours and hours, even with eating and drinking. So highly recommend this if you like a good matte lip and if you like a glossy red lip. Definitely recommend the vinyl inks. Before I do my mascara, I go ahead and mist my face with the makeup setting spray. This is just going to ensure that the makeup will last all day, and it also tones down any powders and just makes your makeup look a little bit more natural. And my favorite drugstore makeup setting spray is this e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. I did change the pump on this to the Urban Decay makeup setting spray, like their pump that they have. I just put that on this bottle. I really like the Urban Decay pump much better than the one that comes on the e.l.f. one. So I would recommend doing that if you also buy the Urban Decay setting spray. So I'm just going to go ahead and mist this on. And I really saturate my face with this stuff. And then I'll just take I have one of these fans, one of these Chinese fans that I got off of Amazon. And I'll just use this to dry down the setting spray. You want to keep your face in more neutral position and don't like laugh or smile just because it can make things settle until the setting spray dries down. I'm just going to curl up my lashes. And if you wanted an extremely natural look, you could just do that and not even apply mascara, especially if you have dark, long lashes. Like, I could totally get away with just going like this. But I am going to show you all my favorite mascara right now. And if you have like hair that's like my color or lighter, I recommend using a brown or dark brown mascara with a look like this, because it's going to make things look more natural. If you have darker hair than me, close to black, I would recommend using like a black mascara. But this one by Maybelline, this is their Sky High Lash Sensational in True Brown, and it's such a beautiful brown mascara. So I'm just going to lightly apply that to my upper and lower lashes. If you do happen to get some mascara on your eyelids, just wait until it dries and you can just fluff it off with a cotton, like with a little Q-tip. I talk about some of my favorite, most used products and my most used skincare. So if you would like to check that out, tap the video above. And if you enjoyed this, consider subscribing. I hope that you guys have a great Christmas and holiday season, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.